Hi, this is Coach Colette, host of the Start Within podcast, and welcome to this week's episode of Financial Fridays. Tomorrow, March 20th, if you are living in the Northern Hemisphere like I am, marks the Spring Equinox, the time when the sun crosses the equator line and moves north. During the equinox, it appears that there are nearly equal hours of day and night. So typically, this time of year is thought of as blooming and air of possibility. And given the challenging times that we have had this week alone, let alone this past year, it can be a good time for self-reflection and consideration. It's also the start of the astrological new year, which begins when the sun enters Aries. So now is a great time to think about intentions that you would like to set for the year ahead or the rest of the year. What is it that you hope to accomplish or bring into reality? What seeds would you like to plant and then watch those flowers or trees bloom and grow? It's also a great time to think about spring cleaning. So whether that is decluttering in your home space or decluttering the files on your computer or your phone, or just taking a look at what are the things that are blocking your space, blocking your energy, blocking your growth? And how can you put those aside? How can you let go of those things that are no longer serving you? It has been a challenging year, and we can sometimes during challenging times forget to refocus our attention on possibility. So my suggestion for this weekend is to spend some time doing just that, thinking about what could be possible. What is possible? What is it that you would like to create? What is it that you would like to manifest? And spend some time journaling, perhaps creating a vision board, or just spending time outside and reconnecting with nature. Even if it's not exactly spring weather outside, you can still take that time to reconnect with the earth. Take some time to look up at the sky, look at the trees, if there are buds blooming anywhere near you. It's important that we stay connected to nature. And even if it isn't exactly spring weather where you are, know that spring is coming. So taking that time to be outside in natural light, taking time to notice the birds, notice the plants, notice the grass, notice the trees, and use that as an opportunity to rejuvenate yourself. Granted, we spend a lot of time on devices and a lot of time in virtual settings. Bring yourself out into the real world and consider what it is that you would like to manifest this spring. That's all from me for now. Get ready and listen up to today's tip from Suki Singh.
Hello everyone, this is Suki Singh, aka Investing of the Investing Podcast with your weekly Financial Friday tip. Do you understand volatility? Now, with the recent pullback in the Nasdaq 100, is your portfolio ready for volatility? Are you hedged anyway? Now is the time to read more about volatility and how it can affect your portfolio and your money. With that said, that is your weekly Financial Friday tip, and I'll speak to you soon. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Hey, it's Coach Colette. You may have felt like you just survived 2020. What would it be like to thrive in 2021? Notwithstanding the external forces over which you have no control, what would it be like to make even a small shift this year? Can you imagine what it will be like at the end of this year when you reflect on all that you have created? It is possible when you start within, and I'd like to help you do it. You can visit my website, startwithincoaching.com, and at the top, click Start Here to schedule your complimentary activation call. We can talk about what's going on in your life right now and where you'd like to be. So go to startwithincoaching.com, click Start Here, and let's start your journey within. Hey, I'm back with this week's Unplugged segment. Still reeling and grieving in response to this week's incidents of violence in which 6 Asian American women were killed in North Georgia. And I want to say that I stand in grief and solidarity with the Asian American Pacific Islander community and raise my voice to choose to challenge the hate and misogyny that was connected to these incidents. The organization Stop AAPI Hate, which is the nation's leading coalition documenting and addressing anti-Asian hate and discrimination, also this week released their national report. And the report shows that there were 3,795 incidents received by their reporting center from March 19th, 2020 to February 28th, 2021. And this is the number of hate incidents reported to their center. And we know that this only represents a fraction of the actual number of hate incidents that have occurred during this period, because we know that people don't always choose to report or speak about the discrimination that they face. 68% of the discrimination reported was verbal harassment, and 11% actually were physical assaults. There were also civil rights violations such as workplace discrimination, refusal of service, or being barred from transportation. And we cannot forget online harassment. According to Stop AAPI Hate, women reported hate incidents 2.3 times more than men. The largest ethnic group at 42% were Chinese, who reported experiencing hate, followed by Koreans, Vietnamese, and Filipinos. And these hate incidents were happening all across the country, all 50 states and the District of Columbia. The primary location of discrimination happened in businesses, 35%, followed by on the street, 25%, and lastly in public parks. This is unacceptable. The shootings that happened this week just shine a light on the increasing violence against Asian Americans in this country and around the world. And we know this is fueled by white supremacy and systemic racism. On this podcast, I've talked a lot about Black and brown women and people of color who have experienced systemic racism, discrimination, microaggressions, all of these forms of hate. And it behooves me to be speaking about this issue for my Asian American and Pacific Islander brothers and sisters. We cannot tolerate this. So in the show notes, we are sharing links to the Stop AAPI Hate website. listing actions that you can take now. And we also include a link to the Movement Hub because the Asian American leaders are calling for community-centered responses. We know that white supremacy devalues the lives of Black and Brown communities, of immigrant communities, and Asian American and Pacific Islander communities. And this increasing xenophobia creates divisions amongst us. We need to be building bridges of understanding, building bridges of tolerance, and speaking up and choosing to challenge hate, discrimination, misogyny, xenophobia, white supremacy, wherever we see it. What will you do to challenge this in your world, in your community? I hope that we can take some time for healing this weekend, as well as to consider what it is that each of us can do to eradicate and eliminate this hate and discrimination. So take some time, as I always say, to be kind to yourself, to nourish yourself, to love on yourself, to reach out to others in your circle who may also be grieving during this time. And let's be here for one another, both in healing and support, as well as taking action and choosing to challenge. Take care, be well, and we'll be speaking again soon. So what is your takeaway from this week's Financial Fridays segment? What might you do differently around your money and your mindset? For more financial advice, you can check out Suki's podcast, Invest Sing, where I also share tips on his Wellness Wednesdays segment. If you enjoyed this episode and haven't already subscribed, you can do so on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you like to listen. You can also connect with me on Instagram at Coach_Colette for more inspiration on personal growth and wellness. Tune in next Friday for another episode and get ready to start within to finish strong.